Feeling is the Secret by Neville Goddard. Read by Voicebook Library. In this book, Neville Goddard explains how our imagination and feelings shape the circumstances around us, whether we realize it or not. He offers a simple formula to help us achieve our desires. Originally published by GMJ Publishing Company in 1944, this recording is a production of the Master Key Society. Copyright 2021 Master Key Society. As Ecclesiastes 12:12 says, "Of making many books, there is no end." To perfect yourself in any art, it's best to focus on reading one reliable book on the subject multiple times. Reading too many books can lead to confusion rather than learning. Forward. This book is about the art of making your desires come true. It explains the process behind how the visible world is created. While it's a small book, it's packed with valuable insights, a clear path to making your dreams a reality. If it were possible to convince someone through logical arguments and detailed examples, this book would be much longer. However, it's hard to persuade someone with just words, as they might think the author is biased or mistaken. That's why I've left out arguments and testimonials, and instead, I challenge you to try the law of consciousness described in this book. Your own success will be more convincing than any written explanation. Chapter 1. Law and its Operation. The world and everything in it is a reflection of our consciousness. Consciousness is both the cause and the substance of the entire world. Therefore, if we want to understand the secret of creation, we must turn to consciousness. Knowing how the law of consciousness works will allow you to achieve anything you desire in life. With this understanding, you can create and maintain the world of your dreams. Consciousness is the only reality, not just in a metaphorical sense, but literally. To make this concept easier to understand, we can think of consciousness as a stream that is divided into two parts, the conscious and the subconscious. To use the law of consciousness effectively, it's important to understand the relationship between these two parts. The conscious mind is personal and selective. The subconscious mind, on the other hand, is impersonal and non-selective. The conscious mind deals with effects, while the subconscious deals with causes. These two aspects are like the male and female parts of consciousness. The conscious, male mind generates ideas and impresses them onto the subconscious, female mind. The subconscious then receives these ideas and gives them form and expression. This is the process. First, you conceive an idea with your conscious mind, and then you impress it onto the subconscious. Everything in the world evolves out of the sequence. Without it, nothing would be made. The conscious mind impresses ideas onto the subconscious, and the subconscious expresses everything that is impressed upon it. The subconscious doesn't create ideas on its own. It accepts as true whatever the conscious mind believes to be true, and then brings these ideas into reality in its own way. Because of this, you have control over creation through your power to imagine, feel, and choose which ideas to focus on. To control the subconscious, you must control your ideas and feelings. The process of creation happens deep within the subconscious, which is like the womb of creation. The subconscious works beyond reason and doesn't rely on logical steps. It simply takes a feeling as a fact and begins to express it. Creation starts with an idea, which turns into a feeling and then leads to an action. Ideas are impressed onto the subconscious through feelings. No idea can reach the subconscious unless it is felt. Once it is felt, whether it's good, bad, or neutral, it must be expressed. Feeling is the only way to communicate with the subconscious. Therefore, if you don't control your feelings, you might accidentally impress undesirable states onto your subconscious. Controlling your feelings doesn't mean suppressing them, but rather disciplining yourself to only entertain feelings that contribute to your happiness. Controlling your feelings is crucial for a full and happy life. Never dwell on negative feelings or think sympathetically about wrongdoings, whether they involve you or others. Doing so impresses these limitations onto your subconscious. The principle is simple. What you don't want done to you, don't feel that it's being done to you or anyone else. This is the key to a happy life. Everything else is just additional detail. Every feeling makes an impression on your subconscious, and unless a stronger opposite feeling counteracts it, it must be expressed. The dominant feeling is the one that will manifest. For example, I am healthy is a stronger feeling than I will be healthy. Saying I will be implies that you are not currently healthy. I am is always stronger than I am not. What you feel you are always takes precedence over what you feel you would like to be. To make a wish come true, you must feel it as if it is already a reality, not as something that isn't yet. Sensation precedes manifestation, and it is the foundation upon which everything is built. Be mindful of your moods and feelings, because there is a direct connection between your feelings and your outer world. Your body is like an emotional filter, and it reflects your dominant emotions. Emotional disturbances, especially those that are suppressed, are the causes of all disease. To feel strongly about something negative without expressing that feeling is the beginning of disease. Dis-ease in both your body and your environment. Don't let feelings of regret or failure take hold, because they can lead to frustration and detachment from your goals, resulting in illness. Instead, focus on the state you want to achieve and live and act on that conviction. This is the way to create what might seem like miracles. All changes in expression come from changes in feeling. A change in feeling is a change in destiny. All creation happens in the subconscious. To control your destiny, you must control the operation of your subconscious, specifically, your ideas and feelings. Chance or accident is not responsible for what happens to you, nor is it predestined fate. Your subconscious impressions determine the conditions of your world. The subconscious is not selective. It is impersonal and doesn't discriminate. It doesn't care whether your feelings are true or false. It always accepts what you feel to be true. Because of this, nothing is impossible for man. Whatever you can conceive and feel is true, the subconscious can and must bring into reality. Your feelings create the blueprint for your world, and changing your feelings changes the blueprint. The subconscious never fails to express what has been impressed upon it. The moment it receives an impression, it begins to work out the ways to express it. It takes your feeling as a fact and immediately starts to produce in the outer world the exact likeness of that feeling. The subconscious never alters the beliefs you impress upon it. It manifests them exactly as you believe them to be, whether or not they are beneficial. To impress the subconscious with a desirable state, you must assume the feeling that you would have if you had already achieved your goal. When defining your objective, focus only on the objective itself. Don't worry about how it will happen or any difficulties involved. Thinking feelingly about any state impresses it onto the subconscious. So if you dwell on difficulties or delays, the subconscious will accept these as your request and create them in your outer world. The subconscious is the womb of creation. It receives ideas through your feelings and gives them form. It never changes the ideas it receives, but always gives them form. Therefore, if you feel that a state is hopeless or impossible, you impress the subconscious with the idea of failure. While the subconscious faithfully serves you, it's not like a servant that you command. The subconscious prefers persuasion over command, so it's more like a beloved partner than a servant. The ancient prophets referred to it as the slave and servant of man, and St. Paul personified it as a woman, saying, "The woman should be subject to man in everything." The subconscious does serve man and faithfully gives form to his feelings. However, it has a strong distaste for compulsion and responds better to gentle persuasion. So, it's more accurate to think of the subconscious as a beloved wife rather than a servant. The relationship between the conscious and subconscious minds is not one of tyranny, but one of love and cooperation. By assuming the feeling that you would have if you were already in possession of your goal, the subconscious is moved to create the exact likeness of your assumption. Your desires are not accepted by the subconscious until you assume the feeling of their reality. Only through feeling is an idea accepted by the subconscious, and only through this acceptance is it ever expressed. It's easier to blame outside events for your feelings than to admit that the world reflects your inner state. However, it's eternally true that the outer world mirrors the inner world. As within, so without. A man can receive nothing unless it is given to him from within. The kingdom of heaven is within you. Nothing comes from outside. All things come from within, from the subconscious. It's impossible for you to see anything other than what is in your consciousness. Your world, in every detail, is your consciousness objectified. Objective states reflect subconscious impressions. A change in impression leads to a change in expression. The subconscious accepts as true what you feel to be true, and because creation is the result of subconscious impressions, you determine creation through your feelings. You are already what you want to be, and your refusal to believe this is the only reason you don't see it. To seek outside for what you don't feel you are is to seek in vain, for you will never find what you want. You will only find what you are. In short, you express and have only what you are conscious of being or possessing. To him that hath, it is given. Denying the evidence of the senses and embracing the feeling of your wish fulfilled is the way to realize your desire. Mastering self-control over your thoughts and feelings is your highest achievement. However, until you reach perfect self-control, use sleep and prayer to help you realize your desired states. These are the two gateways into the subconscious. Chapter 2. Sleep. Sleep, the state in which we spend 1/3 of our lives, serves as the natural gateway to the subconscious mind. This chapter delves into the significance of sleep as a powerful tool for creation and manifestation. It is during sleep that the conscious mind, or the male aspect, turns away from the external world and unites with the subconscious, or the female aspect, to bring about the realization of desires. The subconscious mind, unlike the conscious, does not seek to change what it perceives. Instead, it faithfully reproduces the likeness of the conscious mind's thoughts and feelings in the external world. The events and conditions of one's life are the offspring of the subconscious, formed from the impressions made during sleep. These children of the mind reflect the innermost beliefs and feelings held by the individual. The key to manifestation lies in the state of consciousness maintained before falling asleep. The subconscious mind gives form to desires only when they are felt as fulfilled. The feeling of having already achieved one's desire must dominate the consciousness as one drifts into sleep. This feeling is the measure by which the subconscious creates reality. The chapter emphasizes that man does not draw out from within what he wants, but rather what he is. The state of consciousness before sleep determines what will be expressed in the waking life. Therefore, it is essential to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled before entering sleep. The last waking concept of self before sleep dominates the subconscious and dictates the conditions of the waking world. To successfully manifest desires, one must assume the feeling of success, satisfaction, and fulfillment before sleep. The subconscious mind, which never sleeps, continues to work on these impressions, bringing them into form in the objective world. The subconscious accepts as true whatever is felt to be true, regardless of whether it is good, bad, or indifferent. The chapter advises against going to sleep with feelings of discouragement, dissatisfaction, or failure. The subconscious mind will faithfully embody these beliefs and reproduce them in the waking world. Instead, one should disregard appearances and feel that things are as they wish them to be, knowing that the unseen will become seen. The creative process is described as first imagining and then believing in the reality of the imagined state. The world will reflect the individual's inner state of consciousness. The actions and events of the day are effects, not causes, and free will lies in the freedom to choose the mood or state of mind to assume before sleep. In summary, sleep is a crucial time for impressing the subconscious with the desired state of being. By feeling satisfied, fulfilled, and successful before sleep, one plants the seeds of these states in the subconscious, which then manifests them in the waking world. The chapter concludes by reiterating that sleep is the door to heaven, where what is taken in as a feeling is brought out as a condition in the external world. Therefore, it is essential to sleep in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Chapter 3. Prayer. Prayer, like sleep, serves as a gateway into the subconscious mind. The act of praying involves entering a state where the outer world's influence diminishes, making the mind more receptive to internal suggestions. When the Bible advises to enter into your closet and shut your door while praying, it emphasizes the need to withdraw from the external world and turn inward to connect with the deeper self. In this inner state, prayer becomes more effective. Prayer is more about preparing oneself for the reception of what is desired, rather than simply asking for it. The key to successful prayer lies in believing that your prayers are already answered, as stated in the Scripture. Whatsoever things ye desire when ye pray, believe that you have received them, and ye shall have them. This belief is crucial because the subconscious mind finds the means to manifest desires once they are accepted as accomplished facts. To pray effectively, one must yield to the wish, feeling as if it is already fulfilled. This requires a disciplined mind that aligns itself with the desired outcome, recognizing that consciousness is the ultimate reality. For a disciplined individual, ideas and feelings are as real as physical objects, and therefore, they avoid entertaining any feelings that do not contribute to their happiness. In contrast, an undisciplined person tends to rely on the senses, which can deny the reality of their desires. Because of this, it is important to shut out the senses before praying, allowing oneself to fully immerse in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Prayer is not about forcing a desire into existence. It is about assuming the feeling of already having what is wanted. When the senses contradict the desired state, trying to counteract this contradiction with conscious effort is futile and often strengthens the negative suggestion. Instead, prayer should be an effortless act of yielding to the wish. The dominant feeling will always prevail, so it is crucial that the feeling of the wish fulfilled becomes the dominant force. The best way to achieve this state is to create a passive, meditative state of mind similar to the one experienced just before falling asleep. In this relaxed state, the mind is more easily able to sense the reality of the desired state. This can be done by relaxing in a comfortable position, either sitting in a chair or lying flat on a bed, with the head level with the body. Closing the eyes and imagining a sleepy feeling helps to induce a passive state. Once this state is reached, the mind can imagine the wish fulfilled, not focusing on how it was achieved, but simply on the fact that it has been realized. In this state, thoughts may produce subtle speech movements, which can sometimes be heard as external pronouncements. However, achieving this level of passivity is not essential for prayer to be effective. What is necessary is to create a passive state and then feel as though the wish has already been fulfilled. Everything one could possibly need or desire is already within reach. There is no need for external help. By imagining and feeling the wish fulfilled, desires are called into being. Once the end is accepted, the means to that end are automatically provided. Emerging from prayer with the sense that the desired outcome is already accomplished allows one to remain calm and secure, regardless of any challenges or sequences that might follow. The outcome is assured because the end has been clearly defined and accepted in consciousness. Chapter 4. Spirit Feeling. Not by might, nor by power, but by my Spirit, saith the Lord of hosts. This verse underscores the idea that true transformation and realization do not come from external force or effort, but from aligning oneself with the Spirit, the essence of the desired state. To achieve this alignment, you must assume the feeling that would naturally accompany the fulfillment of your desire. When you fully capture this feeling, effort becomes unnecessary because, in that moment, your wish is already realized. Every idea within the mind is associated with a specific feeling. To bring your desires into reality, you must capture the feeling connected to the fulfillment of those desires. This is not a matter of simply wanting something, but of embodying the state of already having it. Faith in this context is synonymous with feeling. According to your faith, your feeling, it will be unto you. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. As you see yourself, so you shape your reality. To him that hath it shall be given, and to him that hath not, it shall be taken away emphasizes that you receive according to your sense of self. Therefore, if you assume the feeling of being the person you wish to be, your wish must be realized. This principle is rooted in the biblical idea that God created man in his own image, meaning that our self-conception determines our reality. Let this mindset, which was also in Christ Jesus, be in you. Christ did not think it was wrong to consider himself equal with God because he believed himself to be one with God. Similarly, you must not merely believe in God or Jesus, but recognize that you are God or Christ in your own life. Jesus said, "He that believeth on me, the works that I do, shall he do also." This statement should be understood as, "He that believes as I believe, the works that I do shall he do also." Jesus performed divine works because he believed himself to be divine. "I and my Father are one," he declared, and this oneness with God made it natural for him to do the works of God. In the same way, if you live in the feeling of being the person you desire to be, you will naturally become that person. When a person values the advice given to them and applies it, they internalize the reality of their success. This chapter calls for an active shift in belief and self-perception. By living in the spirit of your desired state, you set in motion the processes that bring that state into reality. It is through this internal alignment with the spirit of your wish that transformation occurs, not through force or external means, but by becoming one with the essence of what you seek.